Jesus. Whatever you face this week, forward still. Whatever mountains come in your way, forward still. Yeah. Whatever, if you book your tour, forward still. Disappointment come, forward still. Woo! And if another pastor fall, forward still. After the pastor we are follow. We obey with pastor, but we are follow Jesus. Forward still. Woo. Young people, walk holy. Walk holy. Make the right decisions. Walk right. Walk holy. Ramandosia. Rakandarabasiandarabosha. Walk holy. Forward still. It's Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and sway, with a concrete strength we will push. Let the church be the church, and he will roll. Yes, he will roll. No matter what you face, he will roll. Even if you fall, get up and he will. Oh yes, and he will roll the sea away. Hallelujah.
For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan goes. Get something on wheel it. 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 Grab a rock and 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 wheel it. Come now, wave your hand. Wave your hand. Wave your hand if you love the Lord. Wave your hand. Wave your, yes, wave your hand if you love the Lord. Mommy say roll, Jordan roll, roll. Praise him like you just don't care. Just praise the God, because you know what he has done for you. Just give him praise. Rock and praise him. Dance and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. My God, David was one of the greatest musicians. And I hear this musician playing. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Me say roll, Jordan. Me say roll, Jordan roll. My God, Church of God this evening. God is good. Yes, God is good. God, for I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. Come now, me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to walk right in there. Me have to walk right in there. Me have to walk right in there. Jordan a roll. A river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan. I feel like praise him. I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want rock and praise him, boy. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Boy, river Jordan a roll. People make you roll, make you roll. Boy, a blessing make you roll. Yes, a blessing make you roll. Boy, are your blessing make you roll. Yes, are your blessing make you roll. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan roll. My God, somebody praise him. Rock your body and praise him. And Jesus' body make you rock it. Rock and give him praise. Hey, my God. At the cross, where I first saw the light. And the burden of my heart roll away. I am working for a robe and a star on my crown. I am working. I only live my life to please the Lord. Yes, somebody praise him now. Walk out and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. Give him praise in the home. Give Jesus praise in the home. Somebody praise high. Somebody praise him. Come now. Yes, in the middle of the night. Oh yeah. When me back against the wall. Oh Jesus. And me don't have no friend at all. Jesus taught me how to pray in the middle of the night. Yes, sir. In the middle of the night. Yes, when me back against the wall. Jesus, and me don't have no friend at all. Jesus taught me how to pray in the middle of the night. Oh, hey, 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 hey. Oh, our Father, what in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thank you, Lord. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the middle of the night. Right again. Oh, our Father, what in heaven. Somebody worship him. Hallowed be thy name. Yeah. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the middle of the night. Thank you, Lord. There is a race that I must run, and the victory to be won. Anybody can identify with me this evening? So give me power, Lord, every hour. Say it with me, keep me through. Come on, people, get out of your seat and rock this evening. Rock and give Jesus glory. Come, keep me true, Lord Jesus, keep me true. Yes, keep me through, Lord Jesus, keep me. Yes, there is a race that I must run, and the victory to be. Somebody give God praise hour. Yes, every hour. Yes, keep me true. Sing it again this evening. Keep me true, Lord Jesus, keep me true. Yes, I keep me true, Lord Jesus, keep me true. There is a race that I must run. Yes, and the victory
Youth and youth, undecided voters.
PNP coming again. So tell your neighbor, tell your friend. Green man I ride with like mule, and I take the nation for fall. But we have a new name for him. What him name Eli. Bangarang.
Oh, we tired that the labor pay. The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired that the labor pay. Poverty of us we shut and we going insane.
Why?
Eli. At the union for the bus driver. Eli. That's how you hear from every corner. Eli. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday. Eli. Hear this. Eli tell we say him a go build up the country, put money in our pocket and end poverty. Promise the farmer them a go drive SUV. No him crash the bus, him a blame PNP, but Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him too lion out of order. Oh, we tired that the labor pay. The driver across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired that the labor pay. The poverty of us we shut and we going insane. Why? At the union for the bus driver. That's how you hear from every corner. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli make big promise to teach and nurse and police. Promise to give them big salary increase. Promise jobs, more jobs and good economy. But no him crash the bus, him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him too lion out of order. Wanna remember this? Eli from a party new on the scene. Swear say him done with the garrison and the green.
I'll never go back to that.
Him tell the country now him greener than green with no credibility. Eli at the union for the bus driver. That's how you hear from every corner. Him name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him too lion out of order. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday.
Alright. Partner draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the parliament. Set a rat trap with the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the 2 for the. Set a rat trap in a FLA. Set a rat trap with the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap with the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap in the school. The one them where teeth the pitting them money. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the judiciary. The one them where take money out of the table. Set a rat trap in the lawyer them. Set a rat trap. Take the people money and take them land title. And them not get no title. Hello? Set a rat trap. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Hello? Hello? We said we set a rat trap in the church for the one that we are thief the offering. Set a rat trap. We must catch them. Set a rat trap in the tax office. Set a rat trap in the 2-foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. We said we set a rat trap. Andre! Oh my God, we are suffering in Jamaica with the corruption. Jesus Christ, you can't get them. Set a rat trap down on the wharf. Set a rat trap for the, what they call them? Set a rat trap down on the wharf, man. Yes?
I'm not sorry. Listen to PDTV show.
Oh yeah!
So many things I did not know.
Oh yes!
I tune in from this show. No, me not sorry.
Oh yes!
No, me not sorry.
One more time.
No, me not sorry at all.
No, you have to...
I'm not sorry. Listen to PDTV show.
Oh yes!
So many things I did not know.
Oh yes!
I tune in from this show. No, me not sorry.
Oh yes!
No, me not sorry.
One more time.
No, me not sorry at all.
No, you have to...
I'm not sorry. Listen to PDTV show.
Oh yes!
So many things I did not know.
Oh yes!
I tune in from this show. No, me not sorry.
Oh yes!
No, me not sorry.
One more time.
No, me not sorry at all.
No, you have to...
Right, so we're looking at South Africa right now, but let me say hello first. Let me tell everyone who is here a very good evening and welcome to the first day of July. It's Wednesday, the 1st of July. It is 8:27 p.m. if you're in Jamaica, 9:27 if you're on the East Coast in the US. Welcome to PDTV News. So I'm going to be here with you for maybe the next hour or two, however long we stick around tonight. We're going to bring you all the latest news. And in fact, as we come on tonight, there is a few breaking news stories that we need to get to. There's chaos in the parliament, for example, the war between the PMP, the House Speaker, Juliet is escalating. We're going to be asking the question, is Jamaica's parliament descending into complete disorder? Then we've got the Wheatley scandal. That's taken another twist where the Integrity Commission has agreed to pause any prospect of bringing criminal charges against him until he goes to the Supreme Court. Our friend and former judge, Diane Kiesel, will be here to give us her verdict on that. And who is telling the truth? Breaking news tonight, Audrey Marks. We know she was in the US a few days ago. I'm not sure if she's back on the island, but anyways, she's spoken out tonight and she has denied that she was the architect behind the third country national deportee agreement settlement. We're going to get to the bottom of that because she reckons we've all got it wrong and we all need to slow down, do some due diligence and look at the facts. So we're going to unpack all of that a little later on as well. And we're going to begin in South Africa in just a moment. We're going to go to South Africa in just a moment. But I'm just wondering if anyone here would have seen yesterday in Parliament, right, when we saw just a back and forth. There was just a lot of angry MPs and people standing up for themselves, speaking out, etc. Alfred Dawes said yesterday that he reckons that the Jamaica Labour Party is facing a complete wipeout. He used the word wipeout at the next general election. That's what he said yesterday, and I don't think there's been much attention on that from the media. So he reckons because of the state of Jamaica today, the direction of the country, how things are escalating, no one's really getting on. He reckons there's going to be a big shift in the country. So we're going to watch and see that. And we did also see, didn't we, on Tuesday, that protest that was held in downtown Kingston. That was interesting. A lot of people turned out. I mean, it was a very orderly protest. Because usually when we talk about protests, you expect to see thousands of people marching with their placards and bringing traffic to a standstill, a bit like the protest in New York, where, in my case, you might even get hit with a rubber bullet if you're not too careful. I know in Jamaica it's real bullets. But anyway, speaking of protests, let's get the show on the road tonight. And I want to warn you before we go any further, and I'm going to give you a disclaimer very, very quickly. This next part of the program may be unsettling for some of you. And I know it's pretty early in the show and we're getting a bit ugly and a bit sort of in your face, but we've got to do this tonight because as a lot of you guys will know, anti-immigrant protests have been taking place across South Africa in recent weeks and months. I've been following it closely. And the reason being, I'm just fascinated at the idea that this immigration sentiment is just spreading, not just in Western countries, but it's also ended up on the continent. And we're going to show you some pictures right now, pictures from earlier this week showing thousands of Black South Africans marching through neighborhoods with large immigrant populations, including communities from Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Malawi, and other African countries. They were basically marching as a way to, in some cases, intimidate some of these immigrants who are living in these neighborhoods, wanting them to leave and go home. So you can see those angry scenes. Look at them. They've got sticks. You can see the anger and that determination to take back South Africa, as they say. As of today, police say close to 1,000 people have been arrested after some of yesterday's protests descended into violence. So there were some violent scenes yesterday. Let's not forget, yesterday was the deadline given by some of these vigilante groups to undocumented immigrants living in South Africa to leave the country and to go back home. So let's take a quick listen now from the police to get an update on how many people have been arrested and for what.
Some were arrested for public violence, some for harboring illegal immigrants in terms of Immigration Act, some for business robbery at spaza shops. As of this morning, we confirm that a total of 120 marches took place nationwide. Of these marches, 108 of them were peaceful and only 12 required law enforcement interventions due to incidents.
So across South Africa, Nelson Mandela's South Africa, a country with such rich history, you have many African migrants who are fleeing the country. They've had to abandon their homes, their businesses, they're sleeping outside their consulates. So you've got Nigerians going to the Nigerian consulate, Zimbabwe. Let's not forget Zimbabwe and South Africa, they share a very, very big border, which is easy to cross over into both countries, a bit like the US-Mexico border. You cross over, you're in each other's country. So a lot of these people are fleeing their homes, they're going back home because of the fact that these protests are turning so ugly and so nasty. Others have seen their businesses burnt to the ground, their property damaged, people breaking into homes, all in the hope of intimidating these people and forcing them out of the country to go back home. So tonight, I'm going to bring you an interview with one of those protesters. There she is. It's that woman just right on the right of your screen. Her name is Talibi Sibiko, and she leads a political party in South Africa. And I must warn you, what you are about to hear now may be disturbing to some of you. However, it will give us, I think, a revealing insight into the anger, the frustration, and anti-immigrant sentiment that exists in South Africa's society today. Let's take a listen.
They have no humility in them. They turn our children into prostitutes. Wherever they occupy, they turn that space into a dump.
What are some of the things that you can tell us that has happened to you, which has led you to be like this and to have these sentiments specifically towards Nigerians?
Well, we've got an influx of fake pastors who are, most of them coming from Nigeria. Our streets, we had humanity, love, we cared for one another. Our children could play in the streets. They were kids. Ever since these people arrived, they've changed our streets. Our children now, most of them are zombies, absolutely dead whilst they're walking. Many of our people do not work now. They are unemployed. So that disadvantages people of South Africa because they can't be put on the system because they're demanding a minimum wage where somebody is taking next to nothing. It affected many of our people. We had many properties in South Africa that which were left attended post-apartheid by many of the white people who left South Africa and others who deceased. Nigerian, they came in illegally, occupied those premises under false pretense that they were agent. And now they are denying South African people to accommodate those properties. If our people are looking for rentals in those houses or whatever building the case may be which they hijacked, they double charge our people. They're making our people suffer severely. You know, they've come, they found themselves dating majority of women in South Africa. And they went to an extent of doing fake marriages. They married the woman of South Africa in order that they can get residence or legal status in South Africa.
So we saw protests on Monday. How much further are you willing to go in order to get these Nigerians who you dislike so much to leave your country?
Well, I'll go as far as the law takes me. And when the law says arrest them, I'll arrest them. When the law says march, I'll march. Whatever the law provides for me to do, I would absolutely do.
There are so many people tonight who'll be listening to this and will instantly get the feeling that everything that you're saying is fueling the violence and hatred that we're seeing coming out of your country. What do you say to that?
They would. And I would say that I did not begin. They've started hating us. When we demonstrated love and we opened our communities, we opened our nation, they showed hatred towards us. They showed us that they hate us when they started feeding our kids drugs and turning our children into prostitute, things that which they do not do with their own children. So such people are not something that you need to romanticize and try hide behind diplomacy. It is what it is. They began hating and they've taught us how to respond to that hate. And equally, we are resenting them because of their behavior and will continue unless they change. And we don't know what would mend the pain that which they have done to us and our children.
Don't you feel just a little bit guilty speaking like this?
I don't feel guilty for anything that I have not done. And if I've done something that violates the law, I take accountability and I stand in the position I'm supposed to be at. And as far as the truth is concerned, I think there is a thin line between incitement and the truth. And when I'm standing and I'm speaking the truth.
Do you think that you might be a little bit racist or perhaps xenophobic?
I can't be xenophobic. I believe in Africa. I believe I've got friends in Africa. I've got friends in Kenya. I've got friends in Uganda. I've got mentees who are all over Africa. I can never be xenophobic.
Talib Sibeko, on why she believes Nigerians should leave South Africa. She said she hates them. And I thought it was important for us to hear exactly directly, instead of us just coming here and talking about it from a South African, what the hell is going on in South Africa. Now, her comments come at a time when hundreds of Nigerians have chosen to leave South Africa. The Nigerian government has sent planes to evacuate their citizens. The Zimbabwe government has also sent planes to bring their citizens home. So across Africa, you've got countries who are having to react to try and protect their citizens, to get them out of South Africa. Now, the situation is once again, as you can imagine, raised difficult questions about migration, the economic hardship. You heard that lady a moment ago saying that Nigerians are taking the women. Well, some of the women anyway, maybe not her. They're also taking the jobs. They're doing the jobs for much cheaper. They're not employing Nigerians. She says that they bring crime. They just make the place look really bad. Now, someone in the chat I saw earlier saying this is coming to a Jamaican parish very soon. This might be the similar sentiments that we hear coming out of Jamaica. And I don't want us to try and look at the funny side of this. I think what we just listened to is very, 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 very serious, because think about it for a moment. For decades, Africans spoke proudly of Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism. We were told that Africa belongs to Africans. And that was the strength and unity. And now Africans are told, yeah, go home. We don't want you in our neighboring countries. We're not brothers and sisters anymore. Looting shops, attacking families, burning homes. This is South Africa today. Let's bring in Ras G. He was here earlier this week speaking to Audrey. And I know he's been following this story very, very closely. And I'm going to get your reaction tonight, Rastri. I mean, you heard there from that, protester, campaigner who wants Nigerian immigrants out, why she hates them. How do you feel about what you just heard?
Grand Rising, Noel, and thank you for inviting us tonight again to look at things much closer. Let me first hail the nationals, both local and international, who are standing up for equal rights and justice. Now, we spoke about the South Africa and the South African uprising that is going on. And as I said the last time, that, for a young democracy practicing some of the protocols that is allowed to them, you're hearing from some of the people that because of some people accepting lesser than what some of the nationals from those jurisdictions would love to get, some of the resources are not shared equally. So there is going to be these kinds of concern. How we go about it is a whole different settings. We cannot return to the sticks and stone break your bone era, because then you're going to go back into tribalism. What is really the meat of the matter is that the people feel a sense of injustice. Why isn't the government addressing it? If there are foreigners who are living better than the nationals of that jurisdiction, then the government have to know what is it that the foreigners are giving that the government is not providing. Now, the displacement, as you hear, it's not just in South Africa. It's a global epidemic where people are being displaced, whether by disaster, whether by hunger, whether by political eruptions. It is a rotating thing that we're on, and we're not seeing the leadership when it comes on to how we evolve from people taking frustrated measures into their hands and the leaders making opportunity quite equal enough so we can be comfortable. I think this is a breakdown of democracy that we're seeing.
So did you feel upset, angry, hearing those sentiments from that lady about Nigerian, whether you like Nigerians or not? I mean, it is quite remarkable that we have a Black African speaking so openly and spreading hate against fellow Africans.
It's not a sense of feeling angry, no. It's feeling betrayed, because we know the sacrifice that has been made for our brothers and sisters in South Africa to enjoy some of the benefits and spoils, and they say that when you're living in a situation, it's different from when somebody is on the outside looking in. This ignorancy is tolerated because it gives credence to the draconian system that is being festered. There is no justice for all. There's injustice for all, but no justice. So until we fix this imbalance that is taking place, you're going to have these eruptions. And I say again, foolishly, South Africa, however, they're standing on their rights, but in what direction are they standing? We know that, they feel away.
Listen, can I just say, Nigerians didn't create corruption in South Africa, one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Their president, I believe, is the 7th richest, wealthiest man in the world. Yet there are parts of South Africa where they don't even have, toilets that they flush. They have to go in pit toilets. There are parts of South Africa where people don't even have the ability to turn on the light. They don't have light switches. They live in huts. So the country is facing severe economic hardship, yet the people who are suffering the most are taking it out on the people who've come to their country to help build their economy. Listen, I'm trying to make sense of all of this, and none of it is just making any logical sense as to why this is happening.
Noel, I think not to be carried away by the noise in the market, because as you rightfully said a while ago, it is the man on the street you see dragging out the 9-to-5 workers and the man who have a family just like him, while the aristocrats and the bureaucrats who sit in the offices after hours to make these rules and regulation of imbalance, they do not get touched. But that is an ignorancy, and that is what they bank on. So South Africa right now, it is an example as to how when you don't have leadership, what will take place. And I hope that other leaders are looking at this, because this is a typical imbalance where people feel like they don't have justice within their own country.
Rashji, just look at those pictures on your screen very quickly. Sorry, can you go back to those pictures where we can see those thousands of people marching? This suggests to us, right, that this isn't just one or two radicals. And that's why we thought it was important tonight to bring you that interview with that protester, despite how disgusting some people may find her views to be. But there are a lot of people, as you can see on your screen, who carry these sentiments. Are we now seeing a radical shift where people are going to have to start staying in their countries? Case in point, look at what's happening in Jamaica. People are saying, we don't want the deportees here. Nobody knows who's coming or where they're coming from or what their background is. It's simple, point blank. We don't want them here. So are we now seeing a shift across the world where there is an anti-immigration sentiment where people don't want foreigners in their country anymore?
I am not of a thinking that people just get up and get motivated to look at the minor things that need to be addressed over the major things that is causing this disruption.
Wow. Okay. So is Pan-Africanism dead? Is that over now? That the idea that Africa is going to unite and we're all going to come together and things are going to be equal. Is that now just sort of a distant dream? Forget Nelson Mandela, forget Rosa Parks, forget what all these icons, fought for over the years. Should we now just be embracing the new reality that we can't, some of us, we just can't stand each other. We all hate each other deep down.
No, I think now that the shackles are being removed and the
I want to drink with me. People, if you showed me earlier, Noel.
My bad. I can hear you. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yes, I'm saying now that the shackles are being removed, we're looking for the leaders among ourselves. As you see, the revolution that is going on, it is something that everybody can adhere to. And in South Africa, I know that you have great leadership over there. It is being stifled right now, and I wish we would see the EFF, these brothers and sisters who marched up and tried to stand with the likes of Winnie and all these great people. But Africa in itself awaits its creator, and I'm not going back in the sense to really say Africa cannot do without us. But I think that we over here in Jamaica especially is very, very, very important to how the direction of an entire nation is going, because we have to admit that some of the influence that happened in Africa, it was because of people that come through our lineage and our belief and our culture. They shaped that. But after these people transcended, you find out that a lot of imposters came in. What is happening? We are being what do you call it, invaded by a monetary system that has no heart or no feelings to the people's oppression. And people, as much as they are loving the development, as what is called, as to the big highways and all, if they cannot afford to live, Noel, what is going to happen? And that is the steep question that the government and the leaders will have to address.
I think there's one thing that we can all agree on tonight, and I guess you might agree if you're sensible and you're a right-thinking person. Looting shops, attacking families, burning businesses, and chanting hateful slogans will not create jobs. It will not reduce crime if you have crime in your country. It will not fix corruption, and it will not fix South Africa's deep economic problems. Politicians, as we've heard over time, may find it convenient to blame foreigners. And we've seen this repeated cycle in history, but I never thought of all the places, given its rich history, like I keep saying with Nelson Mandela, the man who fought for these very people that we're seeing, you know, the generations before them, to be free, to have a fair South Africa.
I think when we speak on these great moves by our ancestors as to Nelson Mandela, we must also put in context, Noel, that these bloodlines came from certain cultural values. These are people who consider themselves Zulu, from Shaka Zulu tribe, Medea Mandela. Mandela is not just Mandela, you know, and I think what has happened, as Martin Luther said, inclusion has destroyed the prestige of our people. Monetary agreement by leaders to accept certain terms has tarnished what our ancestors had stood for. Nelson Mandela, as much as he said he was with the ANC, he remembered that the ANC was a political wing, but the cultural people of the Zulu, they have certain things. They don't just live in huts. The huts have meaning to them. But for those foreigners who may come and see the huts and say, hey, bulldoze it down and build a 5-story building. You know, these are the injustices where people are standing up. We as nationals have to learn to live in a hemisphere that is cohesive with natural mother nature. And that, I believe, if we don't try these things, these ignorance that you're seeing on your screen is going to become more predominant. Because where there's no vision, the people will perish.
History has taught us where this road will lead and where things may end up. And if we go back in history, it will be a good indication as to where South Africa is heading to. But appreciate your insight and your analysis tonight, Rasji. Thank you.
Before I go, Noel, yesterday, Andre Stevenson displayed nobility. I want to say thanks to PDF TV for, you know, being that soul that the nation need to have. We as nationals, when we say, Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with your mighty hand. These are words that are in place in our heart. The next generation yesterday witnessed that we're willing to stand up for something. If it's even 10 of us, but yesterday we saw 10,000 of us, whether it be in Half Cross Road, or it was the social media that we take over, or it was in the places that we are standing, wearing our colors, showing the sunshine that will always come up. No matter how the cloud get dark, the sun always come up. And I want to say to all the nationals, because you're not citizens, brothers and sisters. You're nationals. We have a national anthem, and we have a national hero circle, and we have a national pledge. I pledge my heart forever. Yes, to serve with humble pride. We have dignity. And I give thanks and salute to PDTV and all of the nationals. Yeah, man, the hotter the buckle, the sweeter the victory.
Nicely done. Thank you, Rasji. Appreciate it. Thank you as always. So before we move on, you know, it's worth remembering one of South Africa's greatest victory was overcoming the evil the monstrous evil that was apartheid, and a system built on division, exclusion, and the idea that some people mattered less than others. And it would be such a tragic irony, a tragic chapter in South Africa's long history if a nation that inspired the world right through reconciliation now becomes known for turning on its own brothers and sisters. African problems require African solutions. What is needed now is leadership, calm voices, and honest conversations, not scapegoating, hatred, or bloodshed. So the leadership and presidents in South Africa, come on, man, take control of your country and get these lunatics off the street. A lot of these people who were fleeing, I spoke to this lady, she wanted to come on, but she was so afraid. She said that her husband was murdered last year by a vigilante. Someone shot him dead last year, and her house was burnt down last week, and she is now sleeping in a tent outside the consulate, Zimbabwe consulate in Cape Town. That's the kind of reality that we're facing, and this isn't making much news. And the things that only make news is when the disorder happens and people start to die. But we will continue, and we vow to continue to keep bringing you the latest in South Africa, because it is important. Right, let's move on now. And I feel like our next guest, you know how Ras G just did his little song? She's got to sing when she come on. Diane, former New York judge, is back with us. And we'll tell you why Diane is back in a moment. Let's bring her on screen first so we can introduce everybody to the fact that, there we go, she's back with the Judges Take the Verdict. So Diane is going to be with us every Wednesday for a new segment we're calling The Judges Take the Verdict. And it's where she gives her verdict on some of the biggest legal and political stories making headlines in Jamaica. So as you know, Audrey does this feature during the week. Diane will do it on Wednesday. And she won't be shouting, I'm sorry. She'll do it in her own style.
No shouting, no singing.
So listen, welcome back. I know you've been on holiday. That's why we've not seen you for a little while, but it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
You've missed a lot since you've been away. And tonight, I feel like it's only right that we focus on the controversy surrounding Cabinet Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley. As you know, the Integrity Commission has agreed to hold off. This is breaking news. The Integrity Commission has said that they will pause pursuing criminal charges against Dr. Wheatley while the courts consider his legal challenge. So, Judge, let me start here. When you hear that the Integrity Commission has effectively paused any prosecution while judicial review proceedings are underway, what does that tell you about where the case now stands legally?
Well, it could say a lot of things. It certainly could say that the Integrity Commission wants to let the legal process run its course before it steps in and decides whether to remove this minister from his post. I think, given the very serious issues that Dr. Wheatley is facing, namely issues of how in the world did he get so wealthy while he is supposed to be a public servant, these are serious matters, and they could result in criminal charges. And if the Ethics Commission steps in, it could actually end up throwing a monkey wrench, if you will, into any future prosecution. So in some ways, it's wise to step back and let the judicial process take its course. Doesn't mean that he couldn't be found to have committed ethical violations later, possibly face removal from office. But it seems to me that if these allegations are as serious as they are real and as serious as they seem, it should go forward in some type of prosecution. And if the government has evidence against them, let them present it.
How surreal is it for you to be watching from afar and to, as of right now, 1st of July, 8:59 in Jamaica, 9:59 on the East Coast in the US, that Dr. Wheatley is still a cabinet minister, still in government, still has his plush job?
Well, I am finding this very surreal today because while I've been waiting to come on this evening, I've been watching the news in the United States. And what are the lead stories tonight in the press?
It's 10 o'clock.
Number one, the fact that the president of the United States has gotten to become a billionaire in a year through cryptocurrency purchases, okay, while he's in office. Number two, he launched his maiden voyage today on an airplane that was given a $400 million airplane.
So hold up, I think I've missed it. So Trump is now a billionaire, a crypto billionaire? Wowzers.
Yeah, thanks to cryptocurrency. And he got on an airplane today, the maiden voyage of a $400 million airplane that was given to him by the government of Qatar. And there's no talk in this country about prosecuting him for possibly becoming for possible financial violations while he's president of the United States. So it is so amazing to me to see this happening in Jamaica, where at least in Jamaica, the populace is upset enough to think that the ethics people should be looking at him and there should be launch a possible criminal prosecution. Here in this country, it's almost become the norm. What in the world is going on? I mean, this is an issue that, I grew up believing that a public servant makes financial sacrifices in order to serve the public, right? You don't become a public servant to become rich. If you want to be rich, go into business, right? And suddenly,
Diane, why would somebody want to be in a government job and then become rich in the process? Is that a standard procedure for some politicians, and they're just lucky and opportunities come their way and then they just become rich? Or are these things usually, when you become rich and you're in office and you can't explain it, does that usually mean that you might be a little bit bent, a little bit corrupt?
Well, look, again, as a judge, as a former judge, I don't like to make generalizations. However, when you are in public office, you are supposed to be a servant of the public. Therefore, your only income is supposed to be that which the government allots to you. And because you're a public servant, it's not a lot of money. I mean, I spent 25 years on the bench, believe me, making about a quarter of what I would have made if I were a lawyer in private practice. But I chose not to do that because I felt a calling, if you will. I wanted to do the job that I did. And all over the news tonight in the United States, there were so many interesting stories. For example, when Jimmy Carter was president of the United States in the 1970s, he was a very, very wealthy peanut farmer. He put his entire business into a blind trust so that he had no idea what money was coming in, and he played no part in participating in the business. That's a true public servant. Not a president of the United States flying around on a $400 million plane that was a gift to him from a foreign country that may or may not at some point in the future want something from us. And this whole idea, and what I see in Jamaica, look, maybe Dr. Wheatley had some really luck in the real estate business. He gave this very convoluted explanation for why he became so rich. Remember, he said he got paid instead of in money in a half a dozen properties that turned out to be worth a lot or something. Believe me, it was such a convoluted explanation. I certainly couldn't understand it. And if he were to be indicted and it were to go before a jury, I'm not sure a jury could understand it. But be that as it may, let's assume for the sake of this discussion, he's telling the absolute truth and he just got lucky. Well, I mean, one could argue whether a public servant should be participating in any kind of such transactions to begin with, right? The whole thing. And let me say one final thing. Even if he's not corrupt at all, let's just say he's absolutely not corrupt. There's something known as the appearance of impropriety. This is such an important factor when you're a public servant. If it looks corrupt to the public and they suspect something is off, isn't that in some ways equally negative in terms of being able to serve the public? It makes everybody cynical. It makes everybody not believe anymore in your government working for you.
Do you know what? I feel like this entire chat tonight, everyone who's watching tonight, right, will be fully aware that Jamaican politics is not your first expertise. And like me and so many people who are not on the island, you're watching and scratching our heads and thinking, okay, what's going on here? You're trying to play devil's advocate. You're trying to put two and two together. You're thinking, okay, maybe this makes sense. But given the fact that Dr. Wheatley in 2018 resigned from government under similar circumstances and was brought back into government, and the same thing has reoccurred, it suggests to us that something is going really, really wrong. And there is now an attempt to try and say, hey, we're not going to, react because the public wants us to react. So how do you see this playing out? Because if the court rules against Dr. Wheatley on the 23rd of July, what likely are his next steps? Can he do another appeal, or will we potentially see criminal charges brought against him? And if so, do you think he will need to step down by then if he is criminally charged, or can he continue his role in government?
Well, again, you hit the nail on the head. We're watching from the outside, and judicial systems all have their own permutations. I think that if he is actually indicted, it is going to be very difficult for him to be able to continue in his role because, again, if history is repeating itself, he's already faced similar allegations in the past. And again, I don't see how he keeps the public confidence, if you will. And one could ask, does he have to resign? Probably not. Should he? Probably yes.
And I feel like Jamaicans are fed up. I mean, what message do these legal battles send to the public about accountability and public trust in government institutions in particular when we keep having these conversations time and time and time again? Does it eventually diminish people's trust? And then there is this sort of, they're all corrupt, I'm not voting in elections, forget it, they're all the same. I mean, I feel like that's where we're getting to now, right? And this lasting damage will take maybe generations to fix, if that.
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. Because again, the appearance of impropriety, the sense that the system is rigged against you, all of that diminishes the interest, if you will, the enthusiasm, if you will, of the public for political candidates and the entire electoral process. And in some ways, this is what's really scary. Isn't that what leads to authoritarianism and a lack of democracy? Because basically, if a person in office is not to be trusted anymore, and people don't care anymore, then that lets that person continue to do what he or she is doing with impunity, right? Because who's going to challenge them?
I don't normally do this 100%, Diane, and I don't normally do this, right? Because like you, I try and make sure that we maintain, balance, and we try and be able to look at things from different perspectives and see things from different points of view. But I think Dr. Wheatley, if he cares about the Jamaican people, if he cares about governance, if he cares about the next generation of MPs and politicians who will come after him, he will do the right thing and say, you know what, Prime Minister, I know we're childhood friends. I know we've come a long way. You've gotten to the top. You're in the highest office. However, and this is what most leaders do, I'm becoming a distraction. And the focus for you is your government to deliver for the people of Jamaica. Therefore, I'm going to step aside. And I feel like the longer he continues in that role, is the more damaging it is going to be. The people, Diane, they were out protesting on Tuesday, and he was the focal point of people's anger and fury. Why is he still in government? You know, he's the second person after the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, to be charged by the Integrity Commission, to have charges, you know, recommended against him, or questions, you know, swirling around how they, built their wealth. So maybe there is now a deliberate attempt to say, hey, we're going to do it the Trump way. Forget what the public thinks. It's what we want. And I'm loyal to you because you've been loyal to me. So therefore, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. That's what I'm just trying to get my head around, because it's making no sense. I mean, it's embarrassing, isn't it? It's like, for example, if I come on this platform and I say something that is incorrect and someone flags it to me 20 minutes later, I will have the humility to say, you know what, I got this wrong earlier. So just making note of that. The right thing to do is to step away, fight these charges. If you're innocent, you come back and you have the greatest comeback of all time. Who knows? You could even become the leader of your party and go to and make it to high office and become prime minister. So it is pretty disturbing. I think it's pretty worrying, that the path that, you know, these politicians are going down and forgetting why they are in the place that is the office that they are in, serving the people. And it's not about them. It's not about you. It's about the people. But Diane, as ever, thank you for your perspective, your verdict. How was that, everyone? Let's have a quick check in the chat. Did we all like Diane's verdict tonight? I actually learned a few big words, actually, a few very sophisticated, judgy words.
What? Oh, really? What words were they?
If it looks like, it's the appearance. It's that term that you use, the appearance.
The appearance of impropriety.
There we go. The appearance of impropriety. There we go.
And remember, in politics, appearances matter, because it undermines the confidence of the population that you're supposed to be serving. And when people stop caring and people stop voting and people stop being, involved, then where does the democracy, where does it go? I think it vanishes.
Very quickly before you go, just so that we can look ahead to our next discussion, which is about the Speaker of the House, Juliet Holness, who, by the way, wait for this one, Diane, she is the wife of the Prime Minister. So she's the Speaker of the House. So she was put in that role. It's not illegal, but ethically, it's a little bit sort of, what the hell is going on here? It's like Trump putting Melania as his vice president or House Speaker, right? It's a little bit sort of, is this okay? Anyways, my question is, she is seen at the moment as someone who is very abrasive, very aggressive in her role as Speaker. The opposition, they don't like her. They feel that she is biased towards them, and there is this big uproar and chaos in Parliament week after week after week. I just wanted to ask you about women in high positions, and women who, like, for example, yourself, when you were on the bench, when you were a judge, I mean, it was your courtroom. You would, have the control and the power in your courtroom. You can behave however you like, a bit like Judge Judy, right? How she is in her courtroom. Is there like a fine line or a balance to how, women can be perceived if they are too aggressive and if they are a bit like pit bulls and they deliberately go out just to be, sort of in your face and to try and prove a point? Is there an underlining message around women who are like that, or is that just a part of the nature? When you get to the top, you have to be like that?
Well, I don't think you have to be like that. I think women have a very fine line to walk. And I'll put my feminist hat on now, if I will. Look, when women are aggressive, women are highly criticized. They're bitchy, they're unreasonable, they're difficult, right? When men are aggressive, they're tough, they're strong, they're a force to be reckoned with. I think our society, even in the 21st century, has very, very different expectation about how men are supposed to behave and how women are supposed to behave. And I was always very, very conscious of that on the bench. Now, one other thing you have to factor in here, and that's age. I'm from an older generation than you are. And I think for younger women, that might not be so much of an issue anymore. But for the 25 years that I sat on the bench, I sat on the bench from the time I was a woman in my mid-40s until I had mandatory retirement at 70. And I was always very careful to be decisive and never let the public see that I was struggling with the decision. But I always made sure that I was polite and respectful to everyone who appeared in front of me, out of concern that if I crossed a line and seemed too tough, I would be very criticized for not necessarily my decision, but the way in which I made it. I think women have to be careful, and it's unfortunate. It's societal's different expectations for men and for women, rooted in sexism, I think.
Interesting insight there, Diane. As always, thank you. So a big thank you to Diane. She will be back next Wednesday for Diane's take. I wonder if Wheatley will still be around. If he is still standing, unfortunately, I feel like we're gonna have to go there again because there's new lines coming out every day. But thank you to Diane. Judge Diane, former Supreme Court, New York Supreme Court judge, and her expertise and analysis. Like I said, she'll be a familiar face with me on Wednesdays, giving her take on some of the big political and legal issues affecting Jamaica. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. So here's the thing. I'm gonna do a deep dive at part one. We're doing two parts to this. So part one tonight, we're going into Parliament. We're going to talk about Speaker Holness, and then we're going to have part two tomorrow. We've got a special. So I'm going to be back tomorrow, by the way, for part two, specifically for part two of this conversation. So two parts. Okay, so part one, we're going to take a break. Then when we come back, we're going to ask the question, what the hell is going on in Parliament? Then we're also going to bring you the breaking news about Audrey Martz. She's been speaking. So we're going to bring you the latest on the TCN, the Third Country National. I keep having to remember what that means. So we'll bring you a little bit on that because she's had a lot to say. And I feel like at the moment, my brain, every time I read and try and figure out, every time I see something from Sleepy Chang, it confuses me because he will say one thing, then you'll have the government spin machine that will say another thing, and then you'll have someone else saying something else again, another minister. So it's all a big, like when you see like a big dumper truck that's dumping all the rubbish out and the rubbish just falls. It's like a big mess, all of this. Julene says to come back in my glasses. Julene, I can see. What's up? I can see tonight. I'm good. And also everyone that was going crazy because I said Andre shouts. Yeah, he shouts. You should hear him in the mornings when we're having meetings, shouting. He never stops shouting. I love it. So don't read too much into that. So Sleepy Chang, and we'll talk about him, and then we'll also talk about Juliet and try and just get to the bottom of what's going on. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Goldilocks and Grow. We have a variety of skin and hair products that are 100% natural. Our products are developed by a certified cosmetologist located in Port Antonio. For skincare, we have body wash, body butter, body scrub, facial bars, and more. Our hair care products include powerful hair growth oils, shampoo, conditioners, hair moisturizers, and more. Visit our locations and feel free to follow us on Instagram at Goldilocks and Grow. Call us at 357-9996. Let us help you rejuvenate your natural beauty.
From nature to you, straight from the tree to everyday living. So why the hassle when it's already done for you? Stop searching. Looking for pure natural coconut oil you can trust? Aruka Distribution has the answer. Only Coconuts brings you two premium options, virgin coconut oil and refined coconut oil. Our virgin coconut oil is cold pressed to preserve its natural fragrance and nutrients, perfect for skincare, hair care, oral health, and low temperature cooking. For higher heat cooking, choose our refined coconut oil with a neutral scent, high smoke point, and cholesterol-free goodness for everyday meals. 2 oils, 2 purposes, 1 pure standard. Available at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. Nature's gift for you. The difference is clear, only coconuts. Call or email us. Turn your creativity into cash. Ready to elevate your career and become your own boss? Then join Creative Stems and Drapes for our intensive 6 to 8 week floral and event design decor training program. Whether you're a beginner starting from scratch or looking to upgrade your existing skills, we offer both beginner and advanced modules tailored just for you. Learn from a world-traveled Jamaican master instructor with over 30 years of global industry experience. You'll learn floral design, draping, and elegant backdrops, lighting decor for premium events, modern balloon installations. Classes will be held in Kingston, and spaces are strictly limited to ensure hands-on learning and personal attention. So don't wait. Invest in your future today. Register now or email us for more information.
Hey everyone, it's Wednesday. I'm here. And I feel like we've got an important issue that we want to get to now. You know, in PDTV News, we like to sort of take you behind the headlines and try and analyze, ask the tough questions, and make sense of the stories that is happening and how the stories affect us. So I feel like a good place to start with this conversation is by asking you all a question tonight. What exactly is going on in Jamaica's parliament? Does anyone know? I'm just going to keep an eye on the chat and just read some of the responses that you drop, because I feel like I need to be guided with this. Need a bit of insight now. I need to hear your opinions. Good night to you, Claudette. Welcome, Claudette. So Tanisha says bagga bagga. Colleen says delusional bad. Nicola, no. Jevi says market. I really don't have single confidence in those people in the cabinet. That's from Hermine. Okay. Noel is learning the terminology. I'm getting there. Power struggle. There is a Noel in the chat who says if Audrey can't say the US embassy is misleading the public, then no explanation is valid. We'll get to Audrey soon. We've got Angela says jealousy of Nikisha. They're jealous of Nikisha. Too much thieves and liars. That's from Colette. Market. Jebi says chaos market. Okay. Doreen says a bangarang. Is bangarang just like when something's like really loud and in your face? Is that what it is? Is that the meaning and terminology of bangarang? Okay, keep it going. I'm going to get back to some of them because week after week, and I'm sure you guys have been following, we've been witnessing scenes that many would expect to see in a schoolyard, not in the nation's highest legislative chamber. There have been constant clashes. Yesterday, we saw those heated exchanges where you can see Mark Golding on screen there, pleading with the speaker to be allowed to speak on the issues that the opposition wanted to highlight. We've got growing accusations of bias involving the Speaker of the House, Juliet, who, as we all know, is also wife of the Prime Minister. Then you've got Cliff Hughes there, who came out earlier to say that Nikisha Burchell, she's problematic, she's difficult, her decorum is a little bit challenging, he says. He doesn't like the way she's behaving. And yesterday, tensions boiled over once again. Opposition MPs staging their dramatic protests, banging the tables. We must be heard. We must be heard. And then now we're going in another explosive direction. This is never ending. This is literally, if you guys need if you can't find a good drama on Netflix or Hulu or anywhere, you've got the Jamaica Parliament on a Tuesday just to watch. I know it's long, but if you watch, you will probably find some golden moments in there. A former Speaker of the House tonight and veteran member of Parliament has come out all guns blazing. She is the MP for South Trelawney, and she has also attacked Nikisha Burchell. And just for transparency reasons and purposes, as you all may know, I interviewed Mark Golding back 3 years ago when the calls for reparations and for the royals to be removed as head of state in Jamaica. Nikisha Birchall at the time was serving as an aide to Mark Golding, and that's how I first met her. And she arranged that interview, and I interviewed Mr. Golding in my role whilst I was at Good Morning Britain as a correspondent. Went to Jamaica with the royal family. We did that interview. So I kind of had a good understanding of who Nikisha Birchall was before she became the politician that she is today. And I can say she's a reasonably decent person, someone who I think has the time. You know, I did a 1-hour interview with her on, TikTok. We went live and saw a vulnerable side of her during the hurricane and her fighting for her people, her constituency. So from what I can see from the outset, she genuinely seemed like a good person. But tonight, many of you may be asking whether this debate is really about parliamentary conduct or whether it's about something much bigger. Is the opposition deliberately being silenced? Is there an attempt to orchestrate and to paint the opposition as this unruly, as some of you guys will say, bagger members of parliament? Is parliament becoming increasingly toxic? There are claims, and people have said that it's only a matter of time before someone gets boxed, before someone gets attacked and there's physical violence. And can Juliet Holness, as both Speaker and the Prime Minister's wife, ever truly escape accusations of bias? Is that ever possible? Let's take a listen now to the MP for South Trelawney and what she had to say about Nikisha Birchall and how she feels the current Speaker of the House is being treated by the opposition.
And in all the years that I've been here, when I sat as the Speaker, I had a lot of disagreements with me. But never has this Parliament on either side ever gone into what I have seen. And I make bold to say that this is a new breed of parliamentarians, because never before have we had this type of behavior. I have been the Speaker. I have been opposed. We have had differences, but nobody has behaved in the way members of this new Parliament has behaved to any Speaker. And I'm going to say very frankly, it brings back to my mind the comment that was made originally before the Speaker was chosen. A member of the People's National Party had put out a notice. They did not want the present Speaker or myself to be the Speaker. I'm not the Speaker, but the Speaker is the Speaker that has been chosen. She is the Speaker. She is.
That was very performative, wasn't it? Nicely done, lady. Nicely done. Nicely done. I get the coming out to defend Juliet, and obviously you get brownie points if you do so. Nicely done, nicely done. But you know what? I've come to the conclusion tonight, having watched over the last couple of days, a lot of clips from Parliament and seeing what is happening. And I'm going to say tonight, at what point do we stop calling it strong leadership and start calling it what it really is? I think that there is a degree of bullying. I said the word bullying. Politics is supposed to be about debate. It's supposed to be about compromise and the exchange of ideas, right? But far too often, we see politicians who mistake intimidation for leadership. Shouting down opponents, dismissing legitimate questions, and using power to silence those you don't agree with. It's not strength. It's not confidence. It is technically bullying, right? Can we all agree with that tonight? That the idea that we live in a democracy and we're not in Kim Jong-un's North Korea or Putin's Russia, where they will take you out if you say the wrong thing because you don't agree with what they're doing in terms of the leadership, that if you attempt to silence someone on the basis that you want to be the loudest, you want to be the only person who has an opinion, then that is a form of intimidation and bullying. So I think it's fair to say, when we see politicians behaving like bullies, democracy suffers. People become afraid to speak out. And you heard the previous conversation I had with Diane, right? When this happens, people get fed up of politicians. And I met this Rasta the other day, and I was walking down the street, and I said, Bobo Dread, tell me, what do you think of Jamaican politics? And he said, I man don't talk about politics. And he said the tricks, and I clocked on, and I said, yeah, okay. So he said they're just tricking us, it's the politics. And it's things like this, when this happens, that they will drive people away. And maybe that is the intention, right? Maybe the intention is to create such chaos and to deliberately not want to be, not want to cross the line and say, I'm going to work with both sides and make sure we have a productive parliament where people can have their say. And the idea therefore is to dominate the narrative. So I thought, if I'm being honest, that the role of the speaker, a bit like the British parliamentary system, is that you basically, you're meant to be impartial. You're not meant to be biased. You're meant to treat both sides, give them both the same energy, and that way you avoid the idea that people think that you're biased. Juliet Wholeness, I'm going to say tonight, is not above criticism. I, a couple of weeks ago, genuinely believed that a lot of people were being unfair towards her and that she had a difficult job. And because of the nature of her job and being the Prime Minister's wife, she's a punching bag. She's an easy target. But I can say tonight, and I will say it categorically, watching her conduct and the way she carries herself in that role with that robe on, I think she is being very, 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 very disingenuous. No politician, when the people vote for you, should expect blind loyalty. She is the wife of the Prime Minister, which would have made her role even more difficult. So the most powerful man in the country is the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. The most powerful woman, the second most powerful person, is the Speaker of the House, his wife. The person who he, rests his head on the pillow next to at nighttime. The person who he sits around the dinner table with. The person who he will call to say, hey, this cabinet minister is pissing me off, or this cabinet minister, I'm going to fire him, or what do you think of this? So unfortunately, I'm going to say this tonight as well. Maybe there is maybe there is an attempt to try and cover for her husband. Maybe she, maybe that was the whole plan from day one. That's why she's in this role, and know what, this was never going to be anybody else's role. And together they're going to take over the world. Bonnie and Clyde. Leadership built on fear always evaporates. It never lasts. It never lasts. And I feel like, and the one thing I've learned throughout life, being in a few leadership positions myself, leadership built on respect is everlasting. So you respect the opposition and say to them, listen, I get what you guys are saying. And you know what? I'm going to hear you out. And you build that respect. Then they're going to respect you. And then therefore, there won't be this back and forth where look at Nikisha Birchall. She's a first-term MP. She came into office September. Then they had the Hurricane Melissa. All the new intakes had to pull their boots up and try and, be effective. And some of them weren't. But she is now sticking out like a sore thumb because she's become a threat. She's become a threat where, women in powerful positions will look down and probably see her and think, actually, she needs to go back in her box. She needs to know her place. And I think there are elements of that at play. I mean, I looked at the website a short time ago. I shouldn't be saying this out loud. And I was looking at the shadow cabinet. And she is probably the most, single-handedly, the most attractive, the most prime ministerial material, potential opposition leader at some point. She plays her card right, she can go a long way. But I think I don't want to read any more statements from, the comms machine from the JLP. I don't want to see any more, long, exhausting, and Andre, no more Cliff Hughes clips or monologues. It's getting boring. These little monologues that he keeps delivering and saying this and that. I was going to try and do an impression, but I'm not going to do it tonight. Actually, I'm going to keep it respectful. We'll keep it moving. And we don't want to see any more of that, because it's all this performative, game where people are playing, where we're going to twist the narrative, we're going to poke the other side, and then we're going to distract people from the bigger issues and the bigger questions facing the country. I saw, what does Andre call him? Is it Sour Batty Jerry or something like that? Batty Jerry or something like that, whoever that is. He did a clip earlier. And he was praising Floyd Green and how Floyd Green was very effective in the parliament and his decorum yesterday, and how respectful he was in responding to the opposition and their bad behavior. And I thought, hold up, you've got to call both sides out, and that's the problem. That's the problem. That's part of the problem. The media is a little bit compromised, and we've heard this time and time again, where they will just try and take control of the narrative. In the UK and everywhere, they have a thing called spin doctors. And their job, right, every day, walk into the office, or you have your meeting with the cabinet or prime minister, the prime minister's private secretary, and you say to yourself, okay, what are the top stories today? Okay, so the public, so the Gleaner's talking about TCN, influencers online are talking about Chang. Okay, here's what we need to do to counter this. So that's why you have the relaunch of the Jamaican Information Service, where they're doing their own interviews with their own ministers, and they're trying to push their own narrative, tell their own side of the stories. But no one's watching that old stuffy stuff. Put the ministers out there, put them out to be scrutinized, put them on the TV news channels, put them up for interviews with the newspapers, put them on platforms. Come on. And then that way you guys can then be scrutinized and say, hey, we are working for the people, and therefore we're going to be honest with the people. And then simple dimple. Part 2 is to be continued tomorrow. We're going to dive into the parliament. We've got special guests coming on tomorrow. So I'm going to be here specifically for part 2 of this conversation. So I'll be here for part 2 of the opposition versus House Speaker. Have you guys all written that down? So we've got to be on time tomorrow for as teacher would say, class. Okay, so we're gonna have part 2, but we're not finished yet, so don't go anywhere at all. We still got to go. Unknown Mark says, Nikisha, them have strength far, them have a next guest coming. We're gonna try and get Nikisha as well. I want to try and find out from her what's going on. And yes, Joy, that's what I look at. I look at people's facial expressions and their body language and attitude and how they deal with things. And I do believe that the speaker can be a little bit more understanding to, and a bit like a bridge between bringing people together, right? There's nothing wrong with trying to bring people together. All right, let's move on now. And we're going to talk about reparation. And that's because, you guys all know who my favorite government minister is, Babsy Grange, the legendary Babsy Grange. She's going to be leading a Jamaican delegation to the United Kingdom in September to formally present King Charles with a slavery reparations, I think it's like a document. And the delegation will basically ask the king in his role as Jamaica's head of state to seek legal advice on whether Britain has an obligation to provide reparations for slavery and its lasting impact on Jamaica. So officials say the move marks a historic step in Jamaica's long campaign for justice. And there we go. That's King Charles there inspecting the Jamaican constabulary force. There he is with Andrew Holness there. Let me bring in a journalist and broadcaster, Greg McKenzie. He's in the UK. And Greg, you've been following the story because reparations, we all remembered when it came to all our attention when George Floyd died, and then there was this big movement to say we want reparations now. Andrew Holness at the time was saying, you know, we're gonna remove Queen Elizabeth when she was alive as head of state. We had Prince William, who is now the Prince and Princess of Wales, stood in that photo there and told, and Andrew told him, I'm going to remove your grandmother as head of state. We want to become a republic. That hasn't happened. So, Greg, how realistic is it that a government minister is going to be, not her, let's remove her, Matthew, let's stay on that one, that Babsy Grange, a government minister, is going to be traveling to the UK to bring a document to the king and say, pay Jamaica reparations?
I think it's, well, good evening, Jamaica. Good evening, Noel. I think it's a significant moment. So 6th of September is the date that she will head to the UK. And that date is significant because it marks the anniversary of the departure of the infamous slave ship, the Zong, which was from West Africa back in 1781. And it took slaves to Jamaica. And during that voyage, more than 140 African slaves were killed. They died. They were thrown overboard because the ship was taken on water, and the captain decided that the only way to level the boat was to throw people overboard. And this involved 140 slaves. And then that slave master got paid because he said that he had lost his cargo, which was 140 slaves. So that's just one incident in terms of the history. But I think what this is about accountability and acknowledgement. So I don't necessarily think it's to do with money because, you know, let's face it, who you paying? You know, because none of those people are still here with us today. Yes, their ancestors might, but do you then pay a check to an ancestor of someone that, like, do you know what I mean? So I think what you're going to see is an official acknowledgement from the British government for its role, because what happened during the slave era was that a lot of the infrastructure we see today, railways, ports, and all of that, and universities were built off the back of slaves. So the thing we see today, there is a history right there. So in terms of the acknowledgement, I think that's key. And what will probably happen is that, you know, the British government might agree to pay for a monument or pay for a statue or pay for education programs to acknowledge and remember the past in terms of the ancestors and the slave masters and all of that stuff. Because let's face it, it was only up until 2015 in this country that slave masters, through the abolition of slavery, were paid compensation for the fact that they lost their slaves. That was 2015, that stopped. So I think it's going to create an interesting conversation and debate around repatriation and what is the right thing to do. But, you know, you have to think of it in terms of the people. What do the people want?
But here's the thing, and I feel like it's worth saying that all of this is very historic, right? The fact that you've got a government minister, you know, in cabinet, not a former minister, a sitting minister that's going to travel to the United Kingdom and do this very see, the key word tonight is performative. This performative action where they're going to hand over documents to the king. I mean, it's probably not going to be handed to the king. It's probably going to be handed to his, you know, office, and it's going to be brought to his advisor or private secretary.
It's, yeah.
Let me, one second, Greg, 1 second. I'm trying to not show too much frustration during this story, because the British government has repeatedly said it will not pay reparations. The British government has repeatedly made it clear we will not pay reparations. So again, is this sort of like a legacy, but you know, that Babsy Grange is keen to write for her role, you know, in the government in doing something like this? And I bought, you know, a petition to the King of England, our head of state, the King of the United Kingdom, and therefore this is just all, sort of smokes and puff and everything. It just doesn't make sense to me, because if the British government has said no, let's let everybody know tonight. The way this works is that the king takes advice from the government. The king can't get up and say, hey, I'm going to give Jamaica $20 million or 20 million pounds. The government has to advise the king. The king can't even do tours and read statements without the government approving the statements in what he's going to say.
I think what's happened here is that there's due diligence has been done in terms of laws and different laws that are available today that weren't available 10 years ago. So there are a few reasons why it's come up now. And firstly, there's kind of a growing international momentum behind this kind of movement around the world, not just in Jamaica, but we've seen compensation paid to victims of the Holocaust, Japanese Americans, interned during the Second World War, and indigenous communities in New Zealand that were compensated, Canada as well. So secondly, Caribbean countries are kind of argue that enough time has passed now for Britain to move from kind of expressions of regret to conversations about repair. So this is about repair as well, not speaking for her. And thirdly, Jamaica believes that there are now legal routes through international law and recent UN rulings that simply didn't exist 10 years ago. So it's kind of, it's now or never, really. Will there be a big fat check sent to Jamaica? I doubt.
I mean, listen,
it's
best they don't. It's best. Listen, Charles, if you're watching this tonight, don't send any money directly. They had the Marissa money, and there's a lot of questions around how the Marissa money is being looked, how that's being spent. Don't send the money, Charles. If you do decide that you want to pay out, don't send them any money. Send them a statue. Send them a statue or some monument or something, okay? All right.
It's and that's probably what'll happen. It'll be, there might be a fund set aside for kind of anything to do with slavery, kind of education, to educate children here in this country about slavery. There could be, after school clubs about slavery. There could be an event put on, an art gallery, that kind of thing. That might be the way forward. But remember, King Charles is not a politician. He can't influence what happens in Parliament. So yes, he's the head of state for Jamaica, and yeah, he can have meetings and table things, but it's highly unlikely in the current state. And does he want to get involved? We don't know. So it's great that she's coming to the UK on the 6th of September. I think the weather will be nice. She can have some fish and chips and get a visit to Buckingham Palace. But, in terms of, it's just interesting, the timing and the momentum behind it. It's getting coverage. It is getting coverage here in the UK.
Does anyone want to tell Babsy then that maybe it might be easy if they send FedEx or DHL just to ship it off to Buckingham Palace? I mean, he doesn't even live at Buckingham Palace. He said he won't live at Buckingham Palace anyway. So someone might want to tell Babsy just to ship it up, because it's very performative, and it's great on paper, right? It's great for the government to say we are leading the charge for reparations and for justice and acknowledgement, but it's not going to solve anything.
And it would be interesting to find out what the people think, really, because politically, yes, it's a good stance politically to back this, and profile for this individual will be quite high because it's an international story. But how does that affect people, the people? Does that change academia? Yes, maybe. In terms of your average person, it doesn't. How does it affect us? I don't know. It's a very interesting question. And it's 1781. I think part of this is about not forgetting. It's the legacy. The legacy to remind people, and I think that's the important thing in terms of our children's children, to never forget what atrocities happened. And the fact that some people, not profiteering, but, the evidence of what was built through the slave trade is still evident today. Some universities, the ports in Britain, they were built by slaves. So to see that and not have any memorial or acknowledgement, some are saying is wrong. and someone's got to pay for that. So this is.
So let me ask this. So if, hypothetically speaking, very quickly, if the UK government does, look at the minister's document and say, you know what, Babsy Grange has a point here. We need to try and pay some money out, or we need to do something. If they pay the money out, does that mean every Jamaican on the island would be able to apply for a slice of this money? I mean, how would it work? Or will it just be the money will be given to the government and the government invest it in fixing potholes or fixing the roads? I mean, how the hell would this even work?
So how it would work potentially in the past, what would happen is a pot of money would be allocated, locked into restricted funds. So a organization, an arm would be set up. So let's say, argument's sake, British government say, right, we're going to give you 10 million, that's it, just be quiet. 10 million, there you go. But it has to be spent on projects involving communities and everything to do with slavery and history. So you could be a teacher in a school and you now want to say, okay, I want to do a cookout about slavery and we'll cook food that they had back in 1781. And that's an initiative that you need money for. So you can apply for funding of up to, I don't know, £5,000 to £10,000. And it'll be like that. So it'll be a lot of initiatives like that. Some will be academic initiatives to educate people about the slave trade and the history and all of the wrongs and just the atrocities that happened. When you think about it, it wasn't that long ago, it was what it was. But it's just a reminder. And maybe someone wants to do a mural. I've seen the Emancipation mural in Kingston, been there, seen it. Maybe they want to build another one similar to something like that, so that would have to be paid for, and that money would pay for that. So then you'd need a board of trustees in the government. And I think just needs to be due diligence in terms of that money and how it's appropriated. So maybe the fund will be based in the UK for transparency and compliance issues. Not saying I'm not trying to, do you know what I mean? It might be based here, and then people apply for the money here and it gets sent to Jamaica. I'm not sure, but that's, who knows? I think it's in this modern day and age, I think that the likelihood is it would be a fund that would be set up to build something or something, a park, a museum, a sculpture. It'll be along those lines, but I don't think Jamaica are going to receive a check in the region of 200 million. I think the Dutch paid out recently to Namibia in terms of the slaves that came from there. And I think others are looking at that as we're owed that, but we'll see.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to sort of, I got sent a press release earlier and I was seeing if there's anything interesting to sort of add context to this conversation. But it feels like to me, unfortunately, it's all great on paper. But having spent time covering the royals, having done 7 royal tours, having knowing how it all works behind the scenes.
And remember, this argument is being brought to the highest court. So in terms of the British Empire, it is the Court of Appeal. It's going there. That's where she's trying to get this tabled. So if the Court of Appeal says, actually, look, Britain's got some questions to answer, and yes, Britain should pay, it's only then the Lords will decide, the highest court in the country. And there's a clause now that they can do that. They can take it there. They couldn't 10 years ago. So I think it will definitely get people thinking. And I think, does it detract from Windrush? This is separate, and I just think the timing's interesting and it's whether there's an appetite,
to be honest, I'm usually one who kind of believes in all of this. Unfortunately, on this occasion, what she needs to do is to go to Charles and say, listen, tell your government, tell the Home Office, you are head of state. Remind the British government, you are head of state of the Commonwealth, and you are head of state in Jamaica and multiple other Commonwealth countries. Why not provide our Jamaican citizens a pathway where they can have visas and come and go from the country? Why not do little things like that will allow people to benefit from the partnership and just, stop doing these performative tours where we see Jamaicans who are, some of whom are licky and love a bit of excitement, lining the streets, running after, motorcades when the royal family. I'll never forget down in Trenchtown, the last time they were there in 2023, and William and Kate were, on a field, and we were in Trenchtown, and there were fences, and the little Jamaican kids with their little fingers through the fences trying to begging to be acknowledged, begging for money and begging for stuff. And I'm thinking, and then this woman came to me afterwards and she said, what is the point of all of this? How much is it costing the government putting on all of this? We could have had this money for our community. There was a bigger conversation to be had, right, about taxpayers paying for the royal family. Buckingham Palace is not going to be used anymore for the king to live as his main residency. Why not open that up? Give it to the homeless population in London. Turn it into a hotel. Make it useful. It's time to
put it on Airbnb.
Right.
People rent it, but I think that will probably happen. I think that it's becoming modernized now. We've just revealed the taxes of the royal family, which has never been done before. No other monarch has ever revealed his taxes, or her taxes rather. So they're being more transparent. So maybe that's on the cards. As for Jamaica, I often wonder what Jamaica would have looked like had it not gained independence. I don't know. Would it be a different country now? Don't know. It's an interesting. So you mentioned the visas there, and who knows? But it's obviously I'm half Jamaican myself, so it's we'll have to wait and see.
Be more effective and come up with more policy solutions instead of these things look good and great on paper. But listen, good luck to Babsy. We love Babsy when Babsy makes that trip to the UK. Thank you, Greg, and we'll keep following this, and Greg will keep coming back to sort of update us on this.
Are you going to follow her over, Noel? You're going to follow her to the UK?
I might take her to Buckingham Palace. Me and Babsy go for a walk in Buckingham Palace.
I think there's a documentary in it.
Oh yeah. Me and Babsy just spend the night in Buckingham Palace, just running around with big garbage bags, just putting all the paintings and all the expensive figurines and everything in the bag.
Now, I've been to Buckingham Palace a few times, and just on press trips, and you go in and it's not as grand as people think once you're inside. It's actually quite kind of old, and still it's impressive, like the wow factor, but you're like, okay, seen it.
Listen, I was on the royal plane when we went to Kenya a couple of years ago, and there was me getting on royal plane, sitting down. The king and queen are in first class. I'm back in the cabin, and I was like rubbing my hands, waiting for the food to come out. And the food comes out. I said, "Brethren, take that." And I said, "Take it away from me. I don't want that." It was like some nasty mashed potato with meatballs. I don't even eat meat. It was nasty.
Did you keep the cutlery or any souvenirs?
I didn't keep any, no, because I felt like my cutlery in the US right now is from Family Dollar. That looked more good than those cheap rubbish that they had given us on the on that royal plane. So I hope they've got a lovely private jet that they're sending for the Right Honourable Babsy Grange to do a little
She's flying Air Jamaica. She's got first class Air Jamaica. That's it. They ain't sending no
something like that. Something like that. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing that and for updating us. Appreciate you. Thank you. Camilla says, Wheatley, not yet, Camilla. We're still waiting. You guys should have seen on the plane. And guess what? They had no Wi-Fi on the plane. So because it's a royal plane and we're flying to places, it meant that we're not allowed to have Wi-Fi just in case if, the bad guys try and, hack into our systems and then take the plane out. So it was very, very boring. We did a whole 10-hour trip. I couldn't have any Wi-Fi. It was pretty crazy. But anyways, we'll keep following that story. I want to bring you some breaking news now. Right, Audrey Marks. What did they say? Come to the front of the class? Audrey Marks, come on. Let's give her a moment. Come on. You coming? Come on, Audrey. Come over here. So new developments tonight surrounding Jamaica's agreement with the United States on those third country national. Come on, Audrey. Is she here yet? Come on, you gotta come. Take those high heels off and come to the front of the class. Come on, Audrey. Come on, love. Come on. Take your time. Come on. Gotta wait for it to arrive. Come on. Come on. What? Come on. They're waiting. Come on. So she's not going to come until we play that song, Jaden. Sorry, Matthew. Pants on Fire. You've got to play that first. You're going to come in once he gets out? Minister, the people genuinely want to see you. I mean, but they want to have a, like, because I'm going to talk, like, are you coming? Right. She's not going to come to the front of the class, okay? But she is strongly denying and rejecting claims tonight, right, that she was the architect of the controversial agreement that could see up to 10,000 third country nationals from the United States. She says that she was not the person behind that. She was speaking earlier today, and she insisted that the media reports that has been circulating for the last week or so. Audrey, can you, Audrey, I'm trying to, I've got to tell people about this story. I know you guys don't like when we break facts down and tell people. Audrey, I've got to finish this, okay? Well, she doesn't want to come to the front of the class, but she doesn't want me to tell you guys what is happening. Pants on fire tonight. So she's basically saying that the conversations we've been having here over the last couple of days, it's all wrong. We've conflated two separate issues: the current US initiated third country national agreement and a proposal she delivered while serving as Jamaica's ambassador to Washington to recruit skilled foreign workers to come down to the country. Now, according to Audrey, the request to accept third country nationals did not originate in Kingston, Jamaica. Instead, she says the proposal came directly from the United States. But who remembers when the Gleaner broke their story and they had this leaked document showing that it was, in fact, Ambassador Marks who suggested the idea, who floated the idea? Now, she's saying that she has nothing to do with it. She also suggested that the controversy may potentially be politically motivated and designed to tarnish her reputation. Let me try and read you the quote that she said earlier today. She says the TCN requests originated in the United States. I noticed that there were all kinds of suggestions that I originated a TCN. Now, I'm good at some things, but I'm not good at that. I could dictate US policy. Okay. Should we unpick that? I'm good at some things, but I'm not good at dictating US policy. Well, it's not US policy. It's a Jamaican policy. If you suggest an idea and you floated an idea and then the US say, oh, that's a good policy for us, so we're going to take you up on the offer. So do you see how this is still not making sense? Now, for weeks since this story has emerged, everyone has been asking for, every concerned citizen of Jamaica has been asking and demanding transparency about exactly what was agreed with Washington, how many people could ultimately be sent to the island, and what safeguards are in place. So we can see smiley marks there with President Trump. There she is with Obama, matching suits. So she's not just, some inexperienced newbie. She is a seasoned operator, a seasoned politician. And she will know fully well the importance, right? The importance and just how critical it is that when you're trying to build friendships, the prime minister's come out to say, the deputy PM has come out to say that they want a stronger relationship with the United States. And the United States at the moment, you've got to give in order to get. So I feel like tonight she's just dug a deeper hole. Because it feels like to me and to a lot of people, the government is engaged in damage control ever since the news of the agreement first emerged. There are those who support the government who are insisting that the administration has been unfairly attacked over the agreement that originated in the US and is still being negotiated. But the way I see it is that when Marco Rubio said his comments last year, and listen, I will tell you guys tonight, and I don't like to speak too much. when it comes to, building sources and how you can get information. One of my good contacts was in charge of the president's deportation clampdown across the United States, was also instrumental in putting together policies that would pay people to leave the US, self-deportation. And I sent a text message to say, hey, Jamaica, ? TCN, what's going on? We never approach countries and tell them to take our third country nationals. We make arrangements. So if the minister is adamant that we've all got it wrong, this is all a big misunderstanding, she needs to come out. There'll be records of this, by the way, of the meetings, conversations she's had with the Trump administration, and why there is now an attempt to try and tarnish her long distinguished reputation. Is it someone within her own team, within the government, who decided to leak those documents to the Gleaner newspaper and to throw her under the bus? Is this a coordinated attempt within her own party to try and push her out of her job, to try and push her to the side, to make sure if she has ambitions to lead or to climb higher in government, she will not do so because this has been so damaging for her? But for her to suggest, for her to suggest tonight that it's the United States that looked at the map and thought, okay, let's go and bully and intimidate the Jamaicans to take our third country nationals, I think that is deeply misleading. So the question, Audrey Marks, that is hanging over this entire controversy: who is telling the full story? Your quotes tonight has not answered any one question. It's not given anyone the assurances that the US perhaps is pushing this agenda to send deportees to Jamaica. Even if it's two stories being conflated, there is no denying that third country nationals are coming to Jamaica, even if it's skilled workers that you suggested coming to Jamaica. And the US is thinking, well, why are we going to send you our skilled workers and impact our economy? No, you take the garbage that we don't need. You take the people that we don't want. See what do you guys see where this is going tonight? Where, again, she's probably thought about this and thought, okay, if I go out and say it like this, then this might give me a bit more time to sort of lift the pressure that is mounting off me. But it's not. Even if you suggested skilled workers coming to Jamaica, you guys cut off relationship with the Cubans, and then you're going to go to the US to get skilled workers. You've got people in the US who are on welfare who probably never worked in their life. So where are these skilled workers that you're going to find in the United States to bring to Jamaica? And what jobs are they going to do? And tell me what US citizen would want to give up their life in America, which probably in some cases is a decent lifestyle that they lead, to come to Jamaica, a third world country? And under what deal? Under what circumstances? What would the taxpayers be paying these skilled workers to come to Jamaica to work? Wouldn't it make sense trying to keep your skills in Jamaica, develop your talent? The Prime Minister says he wants people to remain in the country, to build in the country. Wouldn't it have made more sense to keep those people on the island, invest in them, instead of wanting to go and recruit foreigners to come into your country? It makes no sense when your own countrymen and women are leaving to pursue careers in foreign countries. Do you guys see tonight why I reckon, she should put the spade down? She's still not coming to the front of the class, by the way. She should put the spade down and stop digging. Tell the truth. The more lies you tell is the more deeper and deeper this goes. It is clear to see that the outrage, and the Jamaicans have made it clear they don't want deportees in the country. They have the title deportees for a reason, because America wants to get rid of them. And unfortunately, as if we can all learn something, most deportees will be deported for a reason. It might be that they've committed a crime. It might be that they've done something wrong. So therefore, they're being deported. So none of this is making sense. And please tell me if I am barking up the wrong tree tonight. But I took the time, like I said, 5 minutes before we came on, the story came to light, right? And I kind of read it, and I read through the nuances and sort of saw the bits and thought it still doesn't make sense. So here's the question tonight, Jamaica, that we're going to need answered over the next couple of days or weeks. Who requested the agreement? What exactly is Jamaica agreed to? How many people could ultimately be sent to the island? What safeguards are there in place? And why has there been so much inconsistencies in the explanations provided? I feel like those are fair questions. If the Prime Minister was to hold a news conference, and I know the Deputy Prime Minister has done his own news conference, but Sleepy Chang just kind of just says the same thing over and over. So it's still being sorted out. But somebody, and I want you guys to remember this as we leave here tonight, somebody within the government was so pissed off or so annoyed or so frustrated that they felt it was their duty to leak that document to the Gleaner newspaper. They needed to blow this scandal up before talks could progress any further, and this was to be signed off and became an actual policy agreement. Let's not forget that somebody leaked it to that journalist. Transparency when it comes to the interest of people's national security. We're talking about the national security of Jamaica right now. That's not optional. Accountability is not optional. Audrey Marks, whether you orchestrated this, whether it landed on your desk and you happen to take over the talks with the government, you need to come clean. The people you're dealing with in your country, I know some people may have different educational backgrounds. Some may have gone to school, others hadn't, may have not gone to school, but they're not children. They are entitled to the truth. The lies must stop. The deceit must end. And tell the country the full story. Jamaica deserves the full story. That is it. Not asking for much more. Just the full story. And then therefore, once the story's out there, the country can have a conversation and people can say, you know what, if we're going to have 10 Afghanis, they're mostly women who can't go back to Afghanistan because the Taliban would murder them, or because they're refusing to wear their hijabs, where they don't want to cover their head or their faces, and therefore if they go back and step foot in Afghanistan, they're going to be murdered. We can allow the people, the country, to have a national conversation and say, actually, how, would those individuals from Afghanistan enrich our culture, our country, and bring us a little bit more diversity? And maybe it's 5 people from Russia. They can't go back because they decided to speak out against President Putin. And if they were to go back, they would probably face the firing squad and be shot to death. Simple things like that. If people have genuine needs for asylum or to, seek refugee status in Jamaica, I'm sure most good-hearted people, most people would say, you know what? I've left Jamaica. I've gone to a foreign country. I've gotten my stay. We've got to extend that grace to other people as well. But we need transparency. We want to see who's coming in. Is that a fair enough thing to say? Andrew say him know how to turn it up. This TCN is just a distraction. I don't even know listen, we're just trying to figure out where this is going, what is going on. But all of this will only work. And I hope that someone within the government, right, will sit their comms team down, the communications team, and just say, listen, we're going to put it out there. And if that means that we can have a conversation with the Jamaican people about what is going on, then we can move forward after that. But if we go ahead with this in secrecy, this may put the lives of those deportees at risk. Look at what happened when, there were speculations that they had already arrived, and we don't know who's in the country. We don't know what is going on. But would those individuals, if they do arrive, would they require 24/7 police guard? Does that mean that the police who will be guarding them will be pulled from areas where Jamaica is facing the epidemic of crime in some places, Crime, they say, is going down. Murder is going down. But we know police unaliving and shooting the citizens, unarmed citizens, that's going up. So who is going to pay the price for all of this? These are all questions, genuine questions. Colleen says, sleeper agents for what is bigger to come. I don't know, you guys will know that, working, Audrey is very good in talking to his sources and finding out information. Sometimes I don't agree, sometimes I agree, but I'm now getting to the point where we have to agree that there is potentially something bigger is brewing in the background. And we have a government that is operating on the basis there where they see it as we know best. So therefore, leave us to do the grown-up work, and you guys will know what we need you to know when the time comes. And I don't believe that is how governance works. I mean, the question that I want to ask tomorrow when we come back as well, has the People's National Party, has the senior leadership within the People's National Party been given any security briefing about how the TCN will work? Has anyone, any senators on the other side been briefed about the impact on Jamaica's on the Jamaican, sort of borders? How is this all going to work? These are all genuine questions. So like I said, tomorrow, we're going to have part 2. So we've got a big guest who's going to come on, and we're going to dig into the whole shambles of Parliament and how that is all unfolding. And we're going to get into that very quickly. But before I go, I did want to tell you very quickly that there is growing concerns over in Montego Bay on the western side of Jamaica tonight about the state of tourism recovery after new figures were revealed, I think, an hour or so ago, showing that passenger traffic through Montego Bay International Airport has fallen by nearly 30%. Now, the sharp decline comes as the country's tourism sector continues to grapple with the lingering effects of last year's devastating Hurricane Melissa. So less people are coming to Jamaica. And you want to know why that is? Why that is, I think, it was how the aftermath of the hurricane was dealt with. The negativity, the negative reaction given to the government and how the government responded. We also have the issue that plagues the government, the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister for National Security, police killing unarmed citizens, the lack of body cameras, people saying that they don't feel safe coming back to Jamaica. We had an American woman from Queens, New York, who came down, and within 12 hours of arriving on the island, she was murdered. We had an American tourist shot at Montego Bay Airport. Believed he was killed. Had some sort of mental health episode. Was shot dead. And something that I even thought about the other day, tasers. Does the Jamaican police carry tasers? Are there tasers in Jamaica? Do the security forces carry tasers? I know they don't do body cameras. I didn't manage to... Right. They don't carry tasers. Right. So there you go. So it's either... It's going to end one way, right? If you come into contact with the police. So all of those things are having a negative impact. Meanwhile, you have this delusional, crazy idea that the country is on the upward trajectory and things are hunky-dory for everyone in the country. It's not. People aren't coming. See, look at that. See, people like Audrey. Audrey, are you in Jamaica? Audrey says, no, their intention is to kill. It's things like that that will travel outside the country and that will negatively impact on people feeling unsafe, especially women feeling unsafe to want to come to the island. So, yeah, someone asked me after the Hurricane Melissa that they had a holiday booked in February if they should still go. And I said, no. For one, they don't pay those in the tourism sector the money that they deserve to be paid. They treat them like rubbish. A lot of those resorts, hotels. since I've been made aware of just how rife the inequality is among those workers who work in that sector. I said, no, go and spend your money elsewhere. Go to Aruba. Aruba is a nice place. Call me sellout. Call me whatever you want to call me. Jamaica needs to be fixed. Needs to be fixed. Needs to be fixed. It's cheaper to go to Europe and other Caribbean islands than going to Jamaica. Thank you, Liz. Let me show you very quickly before we head off tonight. I know you guys want to go and get some rest because we're going to be back tomorrow again for part 2. It's Canada Day today, isn't it, Matthew? Canada Day? Are there any Canadians in the house tonight? Wave your hands like you just don't care. I mean, Andre is not Canadian, right? But I think you guys get the gist. He's wishing all our Canadians a happy Canada Day. Does anyone live in Canada? What does it mean to have a Canada Day? Is it like a Jamaican Independence National Day? Okay. So it's also known as Dominion Day. It was renamed in 1982. Okay. So it's like Canada's Independence Day. Okay, I get it. So big happy Canada Day to everyone in Canada, to you, Joy, and everyone from the PDTV team. Is there one more thing? Daisy said it's boring. Daisy co-signing that. And look at that. So Andre is going to be speaking tomorrow at Waterford Primary School. He's going to be speaking at their leaving ceremony. Is Andre going to be shouting over there? If so, I want to live stream. Make sure Andre's going to be shouting. Make sure you guys go to school and get your grades. Coral, I agree. Definitely needs to be fixed. So, good luck to that. Good luck with that, Andre. Kids are tough. You know, I did a school project the other day, and kids can be a tough crowd. You got to read the room. Sometimes you have a script and you realize, oh man, I've got to come off script because they're not reacting. So good luck to Andre doing that. And I'm sure the Waterford Massive will greet him with open arms. Leah said to leave Andre alone. He's gonna probably shout at me when I come off. Andre, what's boring? Waterford or Canada Day? See, I'm just giving you guys some quick acknowledgement on the chat before we head off tonight. There we go. So we can watch this ceremony on Auntie Claudette's YouTube channel. So she's going to be streaming it live for you guys from 10 a.m. 10 a.m. You'll be able to watch Andre. I bet Andre is going to do his fancy, you know, when he does the voice over the news roundup, I bet he's going to do that voice tomorrow. Or maybe he might do the bagger voice. Who knows? Who knows how it will go? But make sure you guys watch. The only way you can find out is by watching at 10 a.m. You'll be able to check that all out. So thank you to everyone for being here tonight. Like I said, we're going to be back tomorrow. So if you guys want to not miss our big exclusive, you've got to be here from 8 o'clock. So I'll be probably doing the first half of the show, and Andre will pick up the second half, and we will be making sure that we bring you guys that comprehensive breakdown on what is happening in Jamaica's parliament, and also getting reaction to Audrey Marx's denial that she had anything to do with that document. Did anyone like the liar pants on fire thing? I feel like that should be a thing moving forward now. What do you think? The way I see it, right? When you do these sort of shows, it's important to present the facts on pick and then just present things as they are. So if you guys enjoyed today's show, you can share the highlights. So we do like a daily highlights as well. You can share the clips, you can subscribe to the YouTube, and then you can help to grow us, and then we reach more people. That's how it works. Okay. So thank you to everyone for being with us tonight. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you to the entire team and everyone for making tonight possible. So like I said, go and get some rest, and we'll be back here again tomorrow. Arise will be on from 5 a.m. and then we'll have Midday Connections. Who's doing midday? It's Andre and Midday Connections tomorrow. He'll be on Midday Connections, and then like I said, we'll be back together at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Hope you guys have a good night. See you soon.